You're most welcome to Reinventing Bulking Models to his aggregation for processors. I am here as Irene with Jimmy, and we are team AgroBulking Solutions Limited. Yeah, so we're working on grains and pulses, and this a group of highly traded commodities in Uganda. And currently the market stands at about 4.7 billion, and it's increasing by about 4%. However, majority of the participants in this market are smallholder farmers who make up 85% of the farming communities in Uganda. They are characterized by subsistence production and low input production, and they end up producing low volumes of commodities that are unable to meet the processing capacity of processors in the country. Tonight, I present to you Claire, who is a smallholder farmer in northern Uganda. Claire's biggest challenge is limited access to financing. She has got 5 children, and she cannot access the inputs she needs for her production processes. She cannot adopt the climate change adaptation strategies because she has limited access to financing. Claire goes as far as selling her produce from the garden because she has to farm seasonally, she has to hunt seasonally, but she spends daily. So she has to actually struggle with access to financing to be able to meet her daily needs, but also her production needs. So she sells off her produce from the garden, and she's able to earn only less than $1 for one of the commodities that she produces. And because of this, she's not able to meet the processing needs of the processors in terms of the raw materials. And because of these, processors face high costs in sourcing for raw materials from far off places. Besides that, they are actually not able to get agroecological products that they can produce for consumers who care about agroecology. But tonight we are here to present to you a solution. Through AgroBulking, we are able to offer the crop advance payment model to smallholder farmers. So we offer crop advances to farmers during their production processes to facilitate these processes. So as they get this, they're able to adapt the climate change adaptation strategies, they're able to take up agroecology, they're able to finance their day-to-day financial needs. And as they do this, processors on one hand are able to get the produce that they need at the required volumes, and they're able to increase their processing capacity. So Claire, as she interacts with the crop advancement payment solution, we further link them to processors directly, eliminating the middlemen in the market and shortening the value chain. So Claire is able to get over 70% additional income per unit of the commodity that she sells. On the other hand, processors are able to lower their processing costs by 20% because they don't have to pay several middlemen in between to be able to get the sourcing they need. And in the end, farmers who have actually adopted these adaptation strategies for climate change and who have transitioned to agroecology become more climate resilient. So Jimmy, how do we do this?
All right, thank you. What we do, we utilize the already established ecosystem of the VSLAs to help us de-risk. The crop advances we give to the farmers is not a loan. So de-risking is one of our key factors that we use the VSLAs to do that. To aggregate from the farmers, we use the commercial agent models. With every VSLA, we get an agent there and commercialize them so they will be able to do the aggregation for us. What we do is we operate a low margin, high volume business where our profit comes from controlling costs. Currently, we are operating at a gross margin of 20% with off-taking directly with processors and main rate and general wholesalers in the general markets. So the team is backed up with over 40 years of experience with Dr. Irine, the agribusiness expert, Raphael, myself, Jimmy, and Wako. And we have expert advice from Shona and Rootical. Over the last few weeks, we have been able to get 6 VSLA onboarded with over 240 farmers with aid from AXA. And with the market, we've actually generated over $300 in revenue and over 3,000 in pre-orders supported by AgroWays. Our ask is 20,000, where 74% of this will go into directly financing the farmers to be able to meet their day-to-day needs and the production need, 12 in operations, and the 14% will go to digitalizing our offline operations. So over this, we expect to transition not less than 500 farmers into agroecology and increase the processing capacity by 30% for the for the processors.
So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are inviting all of you in this room to join us in reinventing bulking models for regenerative food system and ensuring that the most marginalized get a fair share of what they've worked for in the food system. Thank you very much.